Labor Day in the United States is a holiday celebrated on the first Monday in September. It is a celebration of the American labor movement and is dedicated to the social and economic achievements of workers. It constitutes a yearly national tribute to the contributions workers have made to the strength, prosperity, and well-being of their country. Labor Day was promoted by the Central Labor Union and the Knights of Labor, who organized the first parade in New York City. After the Haymarket Massacre, which occurred in Chicago on May 4, 1886, U.S. President Grover Cleveland feared that commemorating Labor Day on May 1 could become an opportunity to commemorate the affair. Thus, in 1887, it was established as an official holiday in September to support the Labor Day that the Knights favored. The equivalent holiday in Canada, Labor Day, is also celebrated on the first Monday of September. In many other countries, Labor Day is synonymous with, or linked with, International Workers' Day, which occurs on May 1. History: in 1882, Matthew Maguire, a machinist, first proposed the holiday while serving as secretary of the CLU of New York. Others argue that it was first proposed by Peter J. Maguire of the American Federation of Labor in May 1882, after witnessing the annual Labor Festival held in Toronto, Canada. Oregon was the first state to make it a holiday on February 21, 1887. By the time it became a federal holiday in 1894, 30 states officially celebrated Labor Day. Following the deaths of a number of workers at the hands of the U.S. military and U.S. Marshals during the Pullman strike, the United States Congress unanimously voted to approve rush legislation that made Labor Day a national holiday. President Grover Cleveland signed it into law a mere 6 days after the end of the strike. The September date, originally chosen by the CLU of New York and observed by many of the nation's trade unions for the past several years, was selected rather than the more widespread International Workers' Day because Cleveland was concerned that observance of the latter would be associated with the nascent communist, syndicalist and anarchist movements that, though distinct from one another, had rallied to commemorate the Haymarket Affair in International Workers' Day. All U.S. states, the District of Columbia, and the territories have made it a statutory holiday. Pattern of celebration: the form for the celebration of Labor Day was outlined in the first proposal of the holiday, a street parade to exhibit to the public the strength and esprit de corps of the trade and labor organizations, followed by a festival for the workers and their families. This became the pattern for Labor Day celebrations. Speeches by prominent men and women were introduced later, as more emphasis was placed upon the civil significance of the holiday. Still later, by a resolution of the American Federation of Labor Convention of 1909, the Sunday preceding Labor Day was adopted as Labor Sunday and dedicated to the spiritual and educational aspects of the labor movement. The holiday often marks the return to school, although school starting times now vary. Retail Sale Day: to take advantage of large numbers of potential customers free to shop, Labor Day has become an important sale weekend for many retailers in the United States. Some retailers claim it is one of the largest sale dates of the year, second only to the Christmas season's Black Friday. Ironically, because of the importance of the sale weekend, some of those who are employed in the retail sector not only work on Labor Day, but work longer hours. More Americans work in the retail industry than any other, with retail employment making up 24% of all jobs in the United States. As of 2012, only 3% of those employed in the retail sector were members of a labor union. End of summer: Labor Day has come to be celebrated by most Americans as the symbolic end of the summer. In high society, Labor Day is considered the last day of the year when it is fashionable to wear white or seersucker. In U.S. sports, Labor Day marks the beginning of the NFL and college football seasons. NCAA teams usually play their first games the weekend of Labor Day, with the NFL traditionally playing their first game the Thursday following Labor Day. The Southern 500 NASCAR auto race was held that day from 1950 to 1983 in Darlington, South Carolina. At Indianapolis Raceway Park, the National Hot Rod Association hold their finals to the U.S. Nationals drag race. Labor Day is the middle point between weeks 1 and 2 of the U.S. Open Tennis Championships held in Flushing Meadows, New York. In the United States, Most school districts resume classes around the Labor Day holiday weekend. Most begin the week before, making Labor Day weekend the first three-day weekend of the school calendar, while others return the Tuesday following Labor Day, allowing families one final getaway before the school year begins. Many districts across the Midwest are opting to begin school after Labor Day. See also, Labor History of the United States, Labor Unions in the United States, Workers' Memorial Day, References. Bibliography, Green, James. Death in the Haymarket, A Story of Chicago. The First Labor Movement and the Bombing That Divided Gilded Age America. Anchor. ISBN A1-4000-3322-5. External links, History of Labor Day, History of Artists and Writers Unions, Rare Labor-Related Comic Books.